Hi, I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Za'qul, Harbinger of Ny'alotha raid boss in the Eternal Palace on Normal and Heroic difficulty. There are 4 phases to this fight. Phase 1 is the Normal Realm, 2 is the Fear Realm, and 3 is the Delirium Realm. The boss exists in all 3. In Phase 4, you get to dip in and out of the realms as you like to deal with various mechanics. He'll slap a Dark Beyond ring around the room. In any and all realms, stay inside the ring or else you'll take huge damage and have some explaining to do. Mind Tether goes onto the tank, and you'll see this in every phase. It links whoever's standing closest to the tank and copies half of the damage done to that linked player. That needs to be the off tank. The copied damage is worse if the link buddy is more than 12 yards away. Basically, both tanks need to stay stacked together and stay in the same realm. Dread will fear a few players, which gets ugly if they get feared into the beyond. You need to dispel the fears, but carefully. When it's dispelled, or if it expires, it does a blast of raid damage. Either take them off one at a time, or use some big raid healing if you're going to MD it. Crushing Grasp is a big ol' tentacle slap that you want to avoid. He casts Crushing Grasp, a portal spawns on the side, and a tentacle will slam down in a line from that portal. There's lots of time to see where it's coming from and sidestep, which is good because it's gnarly if you eat it. Portals of Madness will spawn in and summon a summoner ad who begins to cast Dark Tear. You want to avoid the initial portal spot, otherwise you get toasted and feared. Kill the ad before it finishes its cast. If you don't kill it in time, Void Eruption goes off for insane raid damage. While it's casting, it's also summoning little horrific vision ads that you need to cleave down. At 85%, we enter the Fear Realm for Phase 2. Tank Tether, Tentacle Slams, and Dread Fears continue, and those really stay for the entire fight. We do get a break from the Summoner portals. At this point, you'll start to see Hysteria, which is a light dot that can stack up indefinitely. You get none of it in the top realm, it starts stacking in the Fear Realm, and when you get to Realm 3 in a little bit, then it really amps up. To lose it, you just need to progress the fight until you can take a break in the top realm and let it fall off. There are 2 big new things to deal with in the Fear Realm. Manifest Nightmares puts this ring around a player and they'll continually spawn nightmare pools over 6 seconds. Everyone should stay a bit spread so it doesn't nail a clump of people. If you get Manifest Nightmares, place the pools as tight together as you can, but keep moving. You really can't afford to stand in this stuff. The pools will also spawn those little ads, which again you just cleave down. Maddening Eruption will spawn a big void pool on the ground, which explodes after 25-ish seconds. You need to drag the boss into the pool, and then have melee give it a little space when it's about to blow. The boss will get Punctured Darkness and take 30% more damage for 20 seconds. If you do not put the boss in the pool, it'll do big raid damage, so get him over there. At 70%, we enter Phase 3 and get some new mechanics. Delirium's Descent will put some circles on the ground in front of the boss. You need one person to get in each circle to soak it and prevent raid damage. Those players will get sent down to the Delirium Realm. In the Delirium Realm, you get tons of Hysteria and you are hostile to everyone. Not mind-controlled, just hostile, so watch where you're cleaving. On the bright side, you get 80% haste. If you die in the Delirium Realm, it pops you back out to where you came from with a 6-second stun, but otherwise you're okay. You can even dispel that stun. Works the cooldown to 50% health, and it's time for the 4th, final, and longest phase. Thalysra pops in and pulls everyone up to the top realm. She'll stay for the rest of the fight, and you can use her portal at any time from either Crazy Realm to get back to the normal realm. Just step on it and use your extra action button. The tanks are still tethered and the Crushing Grasp tentacles are still slamming. Dread gets upgraded to Manic Dread. When it's dispelled, on top of the raid damage, it will also leave behind an exploding pool. Don't be in that, but after the pool explodes, you can then stack on it to go back to the Delirium Realm. Summoner ads are back, and you can only damage them in the Fear Realm. Get back there by standing on their portals and using your extra action button. There's a lot of that button in this fight, so if you don't have a macro keybound for it yet, I really recommend it. You'll need to send some people through to the Fear Realm to kill the ads before they finish their cast. Once you're done, use Thalystra's portal to get back. Dark Pulse puts a beefy Absorb shield on the boss for 5% of his health and starts a long cast. Damaging off the shield stuns him for a sec and interrupts his Dark Pulse cast. Do that before he finishes, otherwise, you guessed it, raid damage. This is where the Delirium Realm really puts in work for you. You can send your best people down there to help beat that DPS check. And those are the bones of the fight. In the PTR testing, Phase 4 was also experiencing Phase 2 mechanics that are only visible in the Fear Realm, but damage in every realm. That is not noted in the Dungeon Journal, but if it makes it to live, this fight's going to be wild. If that's the case, players in the Fear Realm need to communicate with the tanks up top about where to drag the boss for the Maddening Eruption pools. They'll also need to drop the Nightmare pool somewhere safe where nobody in any realm is going. That may or may not be a thing, we'll see. On Heroic and higher, Tentacle Slam is a new ability in Phase 3, not to be confused with Crushing Grasp, which is a different but also dangerous Tentacle Slam. Avoid any and all tentacles, none of them are your friend. The little horrific vision ads also get an upgrade starting on Heroic with Gathering Nightmare. They start out taking a lot of damage and moving very slowly, and both of those things taper off over a minute. If the ad is still alive after a minute, it turns into a bigger and scarier ad, so killing them quickly becomes more important. And that is Za'qul in the Eternal Palace. Thank you for watching, check out my channel for other guides, good luck in the raid, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!